This is our route table, and it's based on this network topology. Knowing how to interpret the route table is important, but knowing how the route table is built is even more important. As a network engineer, you're going to spend a big chunk of your life troubleshooting and analyzing traffic flows. So this video is not about the route tables, it's instead about the route database. So what is a route database anyway? Let me answer that question with a question. If the route table has all the best paths and all the shortest paths, even OSPF stands for open shortest path first, what other routes are they? So what I'm talking about here is a route database. And in short, a route database is built from the advertisements that we receive from all the adjacent routers. In this case, on our Fortigate, we have static routes. You will find static routes in the route database. We have OSPF and BGP. All of the devices, all of those entries, all of those prefixes are dumped into the route database. And it's from the route database that the RIB, the router information base, is built. So going back to our route table, get router info, routing table, all. So here's our route table, which is essentially a collection of all the best paths. And now let's display our route database. The command is pretty much similar. It's get router info, routing table, database. You'll notice immediately that the route database contains a lot more data, and prefixes in here are indicated by the asterisk and the greater than sign. The ones that are marked with an asterisk and greater than sign essentially mean that these will be selected and entered into the FIB table. So wherever you see a prefix that has an asterisk and a greater than sign, you can be sure that that prefix is going to be in the route table. And let's actually make a small comparison. Looking at this network prefix 2.2.2.2.1 via port 2 doesn't seem like it's going to be selected and entered into the route table. Let's have a look at our route table, and it's not there. What we see instead is the prefix via port 1. And from the route database, we can see that 2.2.2.1 is in fact marked with the asterisk and the greater than sign. If we go into Fortigate 2, we'll see exactly the same thing. Database. I can see only two prefixes, 1.1.1.1 via port 2 and 10.160.20.0/29 via port 2. These have not been selected, and let's have a look at the reasons why they've not been selected to be entered into the FIB table. Well, there's a better metric. If we look at 1.1.1.1, there's a better metric via port 1 that has an administrative distance of 25, and the prefix that has been rejected and not entered into the route table has the admin distance of 250. And then when we come down here to 10.160.20.0/29, this prefix is learned via OSPF with an administrative distance of 110. It's rejected in favor of a directly connected route, which, as you recall, has an administrative distance of 0. And this is the difference between the route table and the route database, and this is exactly how you read and interpret the route database. And that's all for this video. Catch you in the next one. Thank you for supporting the channel.